Alright, this is really cool because I was thinking of doing like a presentation type of something. Not really a presentation, but like a slideshow and just being able to call it. So, what better way than to start the first one on some like artistic for the artists, you know what I'm saying? So, welcome to the graffiti jungle. Palupu lingue. That means I speak multiple languages in Italian. Benvenuti nella giungla di graffiti. Welcome to the graffiti jungle. Questo è Impostore Rockstar. This is the fake rockstar. A podcast sweet cigar. Cigar Talk podcast. We're gonna get something to puff, but yeah, at some point in the time. When life decides to, I don't know. Anyway, as an aside, that was just whatever. So, today's topic, I saw this scrolling through the wonderful world of, I don't know, it's one shorty I watch sometimes from time to time. Her name is River. She's like, on the wonderful world of TikTok. Nah, but this is in the beautiful world of Instagram. The Instagrams, what it used to be, ain't what it used to be, just pictures. So, how do I want to start this? Oh, I thought I had, okay. I didn't do it for this one. And this one I was like, make it the title, John. So, solo date ideas for different kinds of artists. So this is something I really appreciated, and I think especially if you're somebody, one of the things about, and there's nothing wrong, but some people have, they're not that they're a one trick pony or nothing like that. But you know what they say? What's the one thing they say? I'm just giving you some other stuff. What's the one thing they say? Um, a jack of all trades. Is a master of none. That's the quote doesn't end there. Okay? The quote doesn't end there. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but is oftentimes better than a master of none. Come on with it. All right. So, especially like a lot of those people who are multi-dimensional, multifaceted when it comes to art, they are creative in multiple forms of art. So I like the fact that this one said for different kinds of artists, and then just to seeing what some of the ideas were. So it was just cool that like, well, how can I do like a little presentation type shit? And this is like a presentation. So for different kinds of artists, and let me start here. All right, so dancers. First is dancing is a form of expression. You know what I'm saying? Some people consider themselves expressionists, and however that comes out with their creativity is a way. And so, remember, these are some solo date ideas, but I guess it could be if you know what I'm saying, enjoy it with others as well. So, first one for dancers, book a massage or head to the sauna. And I guess that would be cool just to, mind you, I didn't read all of these. I just thought it was, I read the ones that were of interest to me, but I kind of like scrolled up, so I didn't actually see what this one says. But book a massage or head to the sauna, I would assume that's just, to help loosen up your muscles, so you stay limber and things like that. Make a dance playlist of all your old favorite songs. Now that is, I think anybody can sit there and do that. Well, what's gonna get you moving and grooving? You just never really know. So, make a dance playlist of all your old favorite songs, and I guess that keeps you. I guess that keeps you grounded with, as you go off and start experimenting on a lot of the other stuff. You like, of always having a safe space to come back to of your own. You know what I'm saying? Playlist. Next, go to a somatic movement or breathwork class. Don't know what that means, but I'm sure the dancers know. Somatic movement. Stretch at sunrise with no agenda. Waking up just at different part of the day and starting your day off with You know, sometimes like if you're curating a perfect life, how would you start your day if you're a dancer and you start off with something like that? You know what I'm saying? That like a daily routine or a habit. But even just do it like one time, just you know how just putting yourself in a certain place, moment, and doing whatever like can also inspire other things. So even just doing that once, follow your feet on a walking meditation in nature. Whatever the fuck that means. Guess that's just something to try. I don't know about that one. I'm not gonna say that any idea is good or bad or worse than another. Anyway, keep moving. So that was for the dancers. I'm gonna come back to the visual artists, musicians, writers and poem. I'm gonna come back to the. Okay, so musicians, make a playlist with your music inspirations, and that's something to even like as you talk about like how are you creating this and the third boom 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 like and just having like a quick catalog, a quick place to go to that has like, man, you know, I'm really inspired by this person and well why and studying that, and so just being able to have a quick catalog so that you can tap in into tune into. Try a no pressure studio session just for fun. So I guess that's just going in there, whatever type of side you're on with it, whether it's the, you know, how they got some people who make the beats and things, or the people who are actually singers, or the, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the instrument is. So just going in there and just saying, you know, all right, just like it says, no pressure. Like sometimes you put the pressure on yourself to force yourself to create. So this could just be I'm just going in there just because, you know what I'm saying? Not even no agenda, no nothing. Just putting myself in the space of where I even like to be. The next one, play music in public. Now that is something as far as like, you know, sometimes it's about you don't one thing about being an artist is delving into managing or even anything that has to do with like the business side, like marketing and any all of that. But if you're just like, you know, I got music, I just want it there, and you just sitting there vibing to it, and then people just walking past and can enjoy it or not, and that's just like you're not even trying to intrude on nobody's space or anything like that, but it's just just playing some music in public. Sample nature sounds from your solo hike. Now, that is something to do as well. Like, I thought about, you know, there's always chirping. It's either the birds or the crickets. And, you know, with that Leah song, as soon as you hear them crickets, boy, love you, baby. That shit hit different. So, that's something to definitely, like, play with. Somebody should definitely do, like, a birds, though. You know what I'm saying? What happened to that boy? Nothing like that, though, but, you know. Now, write a love song to your younger self. That would definitely be, you know, something to like really tune into. Like, write a love song to your younger self. That's definitely, you know, something to do. Now, those are for if you're interested in dance or musicians. However, let's get into it. I'm gonna go here first. Let's go here with the writers and the poets. Now, for someone for like me, like I think you're for me. I went from my third book is called Art versus Artists, and it doesn't necessarily focus on art, and it's more so with my poetry. So this is just another realm or field of being an artist and challenging yourself to move into a different space, different direction. So it says that very first idea, journal from the point of view of your future self. That is one of the dopest shits that I really fucking like. That is something that, like, from time to time I think about. I think about like, yo, what would this version of myself? You read that? You read my first book? um, so, oh, how'd you get it? That's always nice to know and hear and cool. So that's something I think about like on a daily basis of, man, this version, future version of myself, that version appreciating what I'm doing right now, like, or what is this version doing, and taking the time to do more stuff like that. Like, yo, that's something I really sit there and think about. Like, yo, when I'm approaching a certain task, what would this version of myself, how would this version of myself do this? What is this version of myself thinking or doing? So that is one of those. I was about to go back to this of some of the things to actually try, some of the things to actually try out. So that's one that I definitely would want to do. Because I would, like, these are just some screenshots, but I'm definitely going to delete them. So journal from the point of view of your future self. Journal, because these are just things to do, but sometimes you see something like, I don't know if I want to do that, or if you would even try it. But that first one, journal from the point of view of your future self. Journal from point of view, future self. That is one I definitely want to try out. Bookstore cafe day, read, write, sip. If I can't puff a cigar, I ain't gonna be over there doing all that. I did not know. Now, here is another. I don't think I even. Okay, it's right here actually. I just didn't edit it for the presentation just now. But blackout poetry. I didn't know what blackout poetry was. So here you can see what it is. Here you can see, read the definition I got from Googling it. Blackout poetry, also known as erasure poetry, is a form of found poetry, where a poet reuses an existing text by blacking out or obscuring certain words to create a new poem. This technique allows for creative exploration of language. My thing is blocking this anyway. Of language and meaning by transform existing text into something new and unique. So that was blackout poetry. I didn't know exactly what that was. Where we at with the boys? That was on this one. Okay, good. What do you think your younger self say to you now? So that's something I also kind of, thank you for that question. That's something I also think about that as well. My younger self, and then like there's so many, like, whatever age you sit there and think about for your younger self. Um, I like, and I think that's one of the things that like I appreciate, and that's one of my like goals now on some, like, I think I was kind of mentioning this on the other live stream of, so for example, Kanye has lived his life in such a way so that when he says certain things or does certain things, he literally has like a freedom of expression. And so like there's just like the duality of people, and how they have good and bad of them or whatever, and how they only like really try to portray or show off that good side, but then that other side rears its head and it shows up through different circumstances or whatever. And so I like the fact that what the point I'm at in life now, I think I'm at that point of like the like what what the YNs say, the young people say, like if I crash out now, I've given myself the freedom to do that. Like I've like boom, like I'm just expressing myself, being whatever. I think for the past 2 years of just being able to just be put be live a life so that you can live creatively however you want to be and just have a true freedom of expression. And then like, but I'll be the first to, I've been saying this for sure, is that like, I think when I would say between 12 and 16, way more patience, way more like like that's one of the things. Like when it comes down to like art and drawing and things like that, that version of me, mm, mm, like I have a lot more skills as far as drawing and things now, but that version, like the patience, like if I had, and it's like I still think about some of those drawings I did when I was younger. And I was like, yo, I don't know if I could really do those again and even get back to like sometimes when I'm drawing now, I sit there and be like, damn, like there's a the younger version of me would kill this shit so fucking great. And the way I'm at now is moving from a perfectionist to an abstractionist, and but I appreciate both sides of those. Like I appreciate all the creativity parts of those. Um, and then there's just so much like with like the younger version of myself that I would like. There's a lot of things I would tell my younger self, like, and just to put itself on a whole nother trajectory. It's just I don't even know, man. I don't even know about that. There's just so many things. So let's see. The next one, the write out blackout poetry. I thought that's like a small, cool little activity to do. So I just didn't know what that was. But I could definitely try that out. Go into an open mic as an audit as audience or artist. I would like to do that. I would like to do that. I would like to go to an open mic, but you don't really see those too often or hear about them. I don't know. I would definitely like to go to an open mic. As both. You know what I'm saying? To either sit in the audience and, you know what I'm saying, listen, get some inspiration, and then even just go up there too. You know what I'm saying? Just do something. I don't even know. There's so many ways I would even like approach that. So I would definitely like to go to open mic. Simplest thing, just to at least just go to one. Write a poem to the moon and leave it outside. I thought that was an interesting thing to do. I thought that was an interesting thing to do. All right. So the next, and I think the last one, no, I gotta work. So the next time I do like a little presentation type of shit, I definitely have to work on like the order. I need to know the order in which I got this shit so I can do this shit a little more effortlessly. Find your own way of creativity. Does that make sense to you? Because for me, it don't. Find your own way of creativity. So, I would say to look at things that have your attention. What holds your attention? And why? And it's not always about questioning, finding an answer to why, but delving more into those spaces and those realms and learning about it. Um, so even something like that. So for instance, like with Ice Spice, right? She had something. Yeah, she had something, but then like they was joking about the way that she rap and whatnot, and so they put her on a beat, and she whatchamacallit, and I was like, bro, like that beat that she went on, I was like, man, shoot, I'm about to take that beat and then whatchamacallit. So, damn, bro, that's so crazy. Um, but thinking of like, okay, how will I do this? Whenever it's like creating something, for me as an artist, when I think about like creating something, especially seeing something I like, okay, it's like, well, how the hell will I do this? And what's my take on it? So I seen this person is one artist, dope as shit. But he's scribble. And it should be like scribbling, but the shit come out like you know what the fuck you're looking at. Like it's clean, like it's dope as fuck. And so I had my own version of trying to do that. I sat in on another one of my art inspirations. I sat on. He had a class of just showing you like, all right, I'm gonna go paint this, and it was dope to just watch him and sit there paint. And I learned a new technique from him that I actually learned what he calls this technique when he does it. He calls it impasto. So like now when I'm sitting here, when I was inside painting inside the tent, I'm like, oh boom, impasto. This is how I'm doing it. So and then like with cigars and tobacco, it's like okay, there was a point it was like I learned how to hand roll cigars, like just learning more about whatever it is. So whatever it is, like man, it started with cigars, and then it's like, well, you definitely got to try other ones, do your rating for it, and I started doing like, well, how am I doing the rating for them? And well, when other people do their reviews on them, how do they do their reviews? How and so when I go to do it, how would I do it? What's my spin on it? What I did or did not like from how they did it. And then when it went from there, same thing with the tobacco and the cigar pipes. Trying different flavors. You know what? I really like this one. I'm gonna stick to this. And then, but now it got to the point where it's like, okay, I can pretty much when I look at the ones I don't like and look at the ones I do like, I see a visual difference. So I'm like, the last I think 2 times where it was like, oh man, my favorite flavor is not here. So let me try to look at these and say, oh, will I be able to make a good suggestion? And same thing with the cigars too. Happened with cigars. I was like, man, these are the ones I like. Well, shit, can I visually go towards a cigar and be like, you know what? I think I might like this. You know what I'm saying? Outside of looking at the band, looking at the cigar and saying, you know what? I think I might like this one. So being I got to the point where even this and the third, I remember I went into the cigar shop and I was like, yo, I was like, that's not like it was crazy. I was like, that's not 2 ounces. And it was like this and that, boom, boom. And then so it got to the point, and they measured it, and it was I could visually tell almost like how much 2 ounces, 3 ounces, 4 ounces, like how much does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Being on that space, and hand rolling cigars, boom, and just knowing, just learning more about whatever you're interested in, and then like with videography, photography. You know what I'm saying? I just did a whole little thing just yesterday. I was like, yo, after a while, I kept putting, let me see, I kept putting this design on whatchamacallit. I'm like, yo, that's my favorite picture. That's one of my favorite pictures. I ain't even gotta sit here and try to think about it for real. So then I'm like, how can I recreate this picture? So I go to try to recreate the picture. And then now I'm already like fast forwarding, like, okay, boom. What am I about to do with this? I'm about to make another shirt. I'm gonna put this on the shirt. So it's gonna be this and this. It's gonna be 3 of me. It would be 2. You know what I'm saying? Picturing within picture and just keep going like that. But even when it came down to the art, designing and styling my own stuff, I seen how some people do it, and I was like, yo, I like this and third. Boom. Now I'm putting it there and boom. And it's just like, bro, it's learning about it and then figuring out your way to do it. Learning about it and figuring out how you would do it. Yeah, I'm not sure what that meant. What that means. Oh, what if? All right, so I think we had one more. We did the writers and the poet. We did the musicians. We did dancers. All right, and so let me make sure. Was there any other thing I wanted to like do? The writers and the poets. I thought to write a poem and to the moon and leave it outside. I thought that was just cool, but musicians, artists. Now here, the museum date with no phone, just a sketch pad. That's definitely something I would do, and I want to do. Museum date with no phone, just a sketch pad. Museum. And remember, these are all solo date ideas. museum date, no phone, just a sketch pad. Now that is cool. That would be a cool thing to do. Draw plants at a botanical garden. That is something to do as well, bro. That's an actual task to do. Paint in the park while people watch. I don't care to do that. I've actually already painted at the park before. Create a mini zine from your journal doodles. That is something to do as well. You know, I don't actually doodle. Not for real, for real. But create a mini zine, a mini magazine from your journal doodles. Now that's actually pretty cool for somebody who does different doodles. So like one of my last ones, I did a no-look self-portrait, and I put that on the shirt. I made that into a shirt. So like, but a magazine from it doesn't really work. That doesn't like spark me to like really want to go try to do that. And visit a thrift store for object inspiration. Now that's one of those types of people who do like 3D art and sculpting or whatever like they do. You know what I'm saying? That's something different. Object inspiration. So that's not something. Well, I thought about whatchamacallit, but it's more so like something to draw or like the one not mentioned. Okay, one that's not mentioned here. Excuse me. The comments have started. Excuse that. So in the comment section, somebody mentioned going to fabric stores. They also said furniture, but I was like, but it was just to feel the textures and whatnot. So that sparked me. I haven't, you know, like you do stuff at one point in time, but doing it at a different point in time. Like me doing that now would be something different and something to like delve into. So that automatically made me think to like go to. Now there's a couple things. There's a couple things here. So a shirt, right? You see a shirt, but there's this. I actually have a portable sewing machine. I haven't used that in a while. But there's also fabric glue. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? But I thought about going to the fabric store, picking a couple different fabrics, or just one, and making a shirt out of that. Either using the fabric glue, or yeah, that was the first idea that came to mind. Like I glued a shirt together, like I made a shirt out of glue, but you get what I'm trying to say? Like go to the fabric store, look at the fabric textures and that thing, and be like, okay, I glued this shirt together. That shit, that you know what I'm saying? You make a shirt out of that. Because I was thinking about how I'll be cutting these and whatnot. So order portable sewing machine, and that way you can really start to put the stuff together too. But yeah, the portable sewing machine, just going to the fabric store and saying, okay, you know what, I like this, taking stuff like that. Or yeah, bro, that fabric glue shit different. Even if you take a regular shirt, like the most simplest way to whatchamacallit. So one of my new bandits on the channel, she's a collagist. Bro, I'm saying, thinking, bro, this shit different. She's a collagist. And I haven't, like, so it's nice that even as an artist, you meet other artists who have different names for what they do. So, like, the art inspiration, he said impasto. Like, he didn't like to call himself an artist. He calls himself an expressionist. But he was like, the expressionists don't even, he was like, yeah. So, a collagist, even on some, like, okay, boom, this is how I would do this. Like, putting, like, I was like, literally, I've been like, when I walk past whatchamacallit, taking different shirts and saying, you know what, I like this from this shirt, cut it out. I like this from this shirt, cut it out. You playing too much, cut it out. Shit like that. Cut it out, you playing. I'm not playing, I'm really serious though. But cutting shit out from different shirts and then using that fabric glue and gluing that shit and like, I'm about to put that shit on. We outside like the mosquitoes. Hey, somebody said, hey, the curfew for the summer is 3:30 a.m. 5:30 if I got that shit on though. Listen, listen, that's easy as fuck. Taking like, you know what, I like this shirt, cut it out. I like something on this shirt, cut it out. And then use the fabric glue to glue that into a different shirt. Like, nah, this a fire ass shirt. Simple shit. Simple shit. Like, you see how other people would do it, and then you're like, okay, this is how I would kind of do it. It's different. It's different. And shit like that. For sure, for sure. You know? Mm-hmm. 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 I'm even thinking now on some, well, it's easy. Not yeah, it's easy, not Yeezy. Let me step into the kitchen. If I say this to you, two breasts and thighs, I'm not talking about chicken. But if we can get into that, if NBA your preference, we're not talking about is water wet. We're not talking about curry. And when I say chicken, I'm not talking. Come on, man, listen. Linda, listen, Linda. Meta, listen. Paulo Pulingue. All right, bird. Even on some, I have too many ideas right now, bro. I have too many ideas. And not enough time or resources, right? Well, how can you be as creative as you possibly can with what resources and time that you have? Are you using your time wisely? How can we spend time? How do you spend money? See, when you spend money, I know what that looks like. How do you spend time? I'm not sure what that looks like. How you spending something that ain't physical and it's digital? But shit like that is just a made up concept. How you be spending shit? Spending time and spending money. I know what money look like, but I don't know how to spend time. That's a, come on. Y'all wanna talk about it? Come on with it. Hold on. What else we got? Nigga, what? License. You don't need a, hey, bird. You don't need a license for that, huh? They get those out for free. You need some, hey, bro, ain't it crazy? A mental retardation license. They need that shit. I say all that to say, drop your favorite go-to solo date in the comments. I'm talking on some artistic shit. Not autistic, on no spectrum, no colors, light refraction. I'm just saying, artistic. If you have any artistic solo dates, things you like to do, you could do by yourself. Feel free to drop them in the comments so that other people can, I never thought of that. See? No hypocrisy, no lettucey, shit like that. Bro, it's, hey, what's today? You know what today is. The sun come up every day, but today is Sunday. The sun come up every day, but today is Sunday. Today is Sunday, so yes, sir. Make sure y'all. Oh, y'all going to church? Bedside Tabernacle. It be the ones that were just shaking that ass on Saturday at the church on Sunday. Came to sit with the sinners. It was already burning. Hey, bro, I did see this one little skit. It was a voiceover shit. It was like the YNs wake up in hell. That nigga blicked us. All right, y'all gonna play Jeopardy? Nah, this ain't even fucking Jeopardy. Smarter wants to be a millionaire. Jeopardy, I don't even know. I don't know. We could do Jeopardy somehow. We might do Jeopardy on some shit. I'll put the game board up there. I'll put the categories. They be like, this for 200. I'll be like, all right. Somebody should really be doing that though. Anything else? Okay, let me just go ahead and let me not get too far off topic. This was about solo date ideas for different kinds of artists. But yes, hopefully you got some inspiration, some ideas, something you want to try, something you want to do. You don't need anybody else. And I think every idea, well, I think most of the ideas were free. You ain't got to spend no money to do them. Well, the book the massage shit. This is for the dancers. I ain't no dancer, so that ain't really. But most of this shit was free. Visiting a museum might cost some money. The only thing it costs is your time. Yes, most of these were free activities. Most of these are free activities, so you don't need to spend money, and you don't need somebody to do it with. It was literally do it by yourself. It was literally do it by yourself. These are solo date ideas. These are solo date ideas. So, yeah, one more time. The writers and the poets, the musicians, the dancers, most importantly, the things unseen, those ones who have the ideas here and have to create it and bring it down here so people can see with their eyes. Seeing is believing for some people, but some people say that the art is the portal between the things unseen and the things you do see. Understand your role as an artist. It is so important for you to create. And if I have any other words, I hope that you take that as something. Just know that the artistic vision that you have, you are literally a portal and a channel for that to come to be in real life. You are the manifestation. For that thought and idea. That thought and idea trusted you. So, you're the medium. Now, what medium you use I'm not talking about small, medium, and large. I'm talking about with your words, with your paint, with whatever medium, whether it's you recreate, you take different objects, you put different things, paper, pictures, any of all that, however you decide, whatever medium you use. But just be creative, people. Just be creative. I think these are some good ideas.